The hardest things in nature always break first, but the softest things survive everything. Around 2,500 years ago in ancient China, an old philosopher named Lao Tzu watched a storm destroy a forest. The massive oak trees, strong and rigid, snapped in half from the wind. But the bamboo, thin and flexible, just bent and survived. And in that moment, he understood something that changes everything about how you should live. That hardness is weakness pretending to be strength, and softness is strength that doesn't need to prove itself. Here's what we get wrong about strength. We think it means being tough, rigid, unbreakable, never backing down, never bending, standing firm no matter what. That's what we're taught. Be strong. Don't let anyone push you around. Hold your ground. But Lao Tzu looked at nature and saw the exact opposite pattern. Everything hard breaks. Rocks crack, bones shatter, mountains crumble, steel rusts. The harder something is, the more brittle it becomes, and when enough pressure hits, it shatters. But soft things, they adapt, they bend, they survive. Water, air, plants, all the soft elements of nature outlast everything hard. And Lao Tzu realized this wasn't just about nature, it was about how to live, about how to deal with conflict, about how to actually win without fighting. The secret isn't in being harder than your opponent, it's in being softer. In ancient China, this was a radical idea. Everyone believed in force, armies, weapons, walls, control through power. But Lao Tzu was saying that's the hard way, literally, and the hard way always loses eventually. The soft way, the gentle way, that's what endures. He wrote about this in the Tao Te Ching. One line says, "The hard and strong will fall. The soft and weak will overcome." Most people read that and think it's backwards. How can weak overcome strong? But Lao Tzu wasn't talking about weakness. He was talking about flexibility, about adaptability, about not resisting what you can't change. Think about water again. You can't grab it, can't hold it, can't stop it. Hit it and your hand just goes through. It has no form to fight against, no structure to attack. But over time, water cuts through stone. It shapes entire landscapes, not through force, through persistence and softness. Lao Tzu said, "Nothing in the world is softer than water, yet nothing is better at overcoming the hard and strong. This is because nothing can replace it." What he means is that softness is a unique kind of power. You can replace force with more force, but you can't replace softness with anything. It's its own category of strength. Here's how this works in real life. Someone comes at you with anger, with aggression, with force. The instinct is to match it, to push back, to be hard in response. But that just creates collision. Two hard things smashing into each other, and someone breaks. But if you respond with softness, with calm, with flexibility, there's nothing for their force to hit. Their anger bounces off, their aggression finds no target. And without resistance, they exhaust themselves. You win without fighting because there was no fight to win. Lao Tzu tells this story about a master who lived by this principle. A warrior came to challenge him. The warrior was aggressive, skilled, powerful. Everyone expected the master to lose. But when the warrior attacked, the master just moved, gently, smoothly, never resisting, never meeting force with force, just flowing around every attack. The warrior swung harder, pushed more, got frustrated, and eventually collapsed from exhaustion. The master never even tried to win. He just stayed soft until the hardness broke itself. That's the lesson. Hardness exhausts itself. It burns energy. It creates friction. It wears out. But softness conserves energy. It flows, it adapts, it endures. And in the long game, endurance beats intensity every time. Now let's get specific about what this means. Lao Tzu talked about 3 types of softness: physical softness, mental softness, and ego softness. All 3 matter. Physical softness means staying relaxed, not tense, not rigid. When you're physically soft, you move better, react faster, tire slower. Athletes know this, musicians know this, martial artists especially know this. Tension makes you slow and clumsy. Relaxation makes you fluid and effective. Mental softness means not clinging to ideas, being open to changing your mind, not getting locked into one way of seeing things. When you're mentally rigid, you miss opportunities. You can't adapt to new information. You break when reality doesn't match your expectations. But mental flexibility lets you pivot, adjust, survive whatever comes. Ego softness is the hardest one. This means not needing to be right, not needing to win every argument, not needing to prove yourself constantly. Your ego wants to be hard, wants to never back down, wants to dominate. But that hardness makes you fragile. One loss and you're shattered. But if your ego is soft, flexible, you can lose without breaking, can admit mistakes without dying inside, can change without feeling defeated. Lao Tzu said that the reason people fail is because they try to be what they're not. They try to be hard when they're naturally soft, or they try to force outcomes instead of allowing them. They resist reality instead of flowing with it. And that resistance is what breaks them. He has this concept called Wu Wei. It means doing without forcing, acting without resisting, moving without struggling. It's the idea that the most effective action comes from alignment, not force. When you're aligned with reality, with the natural flow of things, you accomplish more with less effort. But when you're forcing against reality, every action is exhausting and nothing works right. Think about swimming. If you fight the water, you sink. You waste energy, you panic. But if you relax into it, stay soft, the water holds you up. You move through it effortlessly. Same water, different approach. One hard, one soft. The soft one works. Or think about conversation. If you argue hard, push your point aggressively, people resist. They dig in. They fight back. Nothing changes. But if you stay soft, ask questions, stay curious, people open up, they consider, they might even change their mind. Not because you forced them, because you didn't. This is what Lao Tzu meant. Softness isn't passivity. It's strategic flexibility. It's choosing not to meet force with force, because you understand that creates more problems than it solves. You stay soft, you adapt, you flow, and you end up where you want to be without the exhaustion of fighting your way there. Let's bring this to modern life. Where are you being too hard? Where are you rigid when you should be flexible? Where are you forcing when you should be allowing? Maybe it's in your relationships. You're trying to control how someone behaves, trying to make them see things your way, trying to force closeness or change, and it's not working. Because you're being hard, you're meeting their resistance with more resistance. What if you stayed soft instead? Accepted them as they are, stopped pushing, just stayed present and flexible. See what happens. Or maybe it's in your goals. You have a specific plan and you're reinforcing it even though reality keeps showing you it's not working. You're being rigid, attached to one path, but what if you stayed soft about the method while staying focused on the outcome? What if you adapted, flowed around obstacles instead of smashing into them? You might actually get there. Or maybe it's in your identity. You've decided you're a certain type of person. And now you're rigidly defending that identity even when it doesn't serve you. You can't change because that would mean admitting you were wrong. That's hardness, that's brittleness. What if you stayed soft about who you are? Let yourself evolve, change, grow, without treating it like death. Lao Tzu would say, most of your problems come from being too hard, too rigid, too controlling, too forceful, and the solution is to soften, not to become weak, to become flexible, to become like water, like air, like bamboo in a storm. Here's the practice. When you feel tension rising, soften. Physically relax your body. Mentally release your grip on needing things to be a certain way. Emotionally stop resisting what is. Just soften. See what happens. When someone opposes you, don't harden. Don't prepare for battle. Soften, listen, understand, move with them instead of against them. See what happens. When life doesn't go according to plan, don't force it. Don't demand reality change to match your expectations. Soften, adapt, find the new path. See what happens. This is what Lao Tzu practiced. This is what he taught. Not weakness, not passivity, strategic softness. The kind that survives everything because it never creates unnecessary resistance. The kind that wins without fighting because there's nothing to fight against. The oak tree in the storm thinks its hardness will save it. The bamboo knows better. It bends, it flows, it survives, and when the storm passes, it's still standing. Not because it was harder, because it was softer. You live in storms. Everyone does. Conflict, change, pressure, uncertainty, all of it trying to break you. And your instinct is to harden, to resist, to fight. But Lao Tzu is telling you that's how you break. That's how you lose. The way through is softness, flexibility, flow, not meeting force with force, just adapting, bending, surviving, and in the long run, outlasting everything hard that thought it was stronger than you. The hardest things break first, but the soft things remain. That's not weakness, that's the deepest strength there is. Watch the next one to go deeper.